Hi there, this is Michael Fowler. I'm on Team Iron Lobster, and this is the second video for Spacer Project. So, first here's the main menu. I'll go through the buttons, and I'll kind of tell you what I'm going to do through the game. First, we'll start with controls. Move left and right, A and D, spacebar, pause, hit the escape key, and the reflector shield, you hit the F key. Hit the back button. Options, there you go, you got background music. I'll leave it back right there. SFX, there you go. Hit the back button. And then options, I already did that one, sorry. Credits, so far here are our credits that we have. Hit the back button, and after the playthrough, I will show you the level button and how that works, and then the quit close game. Okay, so hit the play button. This is the tutorial screen, so I'm going to hit the pause button, and basically let's get through these buttons first. Here's a controls button, move left and right, shield, escape key, hit the back button. Settings still works, same there. Hit the back button, and I'm going to go ahead and take you to the main menu and then start again so I can show you that the main menu button works. There's the main menu. Hit play again, and this is where we're at. So I'm going to show the tutorial screens. Here is next. Attack and defense. Fire the weapons, press the spacebar. Reflect enemy bullets, press F. Pause menu, hit the escape key. All enemies that lock on share the same red color. Press start to start the game. Alright. So, here we go. I got me a power up for a weapon. And this weapon right here that I have is the laser. So I go to the next level. Okay. Again. Here's that. Here's the settings. Yep. There we go. Okay. And now I want to show you the feature list. Alright. Now the feature list, I'm going to walk you through it real quick. You got fix all bugs to make the game function properly. Diving enemies starting to shoot before they returned from their previous dive. If you saw that in the tutorial, the enemies did dive before starting to shoot. Explosion on destroy bug, we fixed that. Now they explode as they're being destroyed, not before. Ensure win-loss banner can't be overlaid with the pause menu. I'll show you that here in just a second. On the next screen, I'll show you that it cannot be put as I'm trying to hit the escape key. Alright. Removable hook shot, we did that. Remove error button in main menu, we did that. Also, get the functionality of the power-ups to work as intended. Power-ups search for player versions and will function regardless of player version used in level. This one I don't think we have completed just yet, Power-ups that force the player into invincibility will no longer stop item pickup. This one has been corrected. Fix the pause main menu button. We did that. The pause main menu button will send the player back to the main menu, which I showed you. Pause menu now searches for time as well as input for mouse indication. Basically, it's showing that on the screen you will see the cursor for the pause menu. Fix the last boss level. I'll show you that. Fix the missing game object reference with the power-ups display. I'll show you that. Remove the mention of hookshot. Like I said, we've already done that. Fix the issue with the high score table not saving individual scores when returning to the main menu. That bug has not been fixed. The next feature list, introduce IPM to existing features. I showed you the tutorial page, which is the I. I'll show you next P. I think there's about 4 or 5 P levels, and then when we get to the boss named Master Bones, then you will have the master level, which is the hardest level in the game. For the functionality of this IPM, initial reflector shield level has a floating object that can't be destroyed using normal projectiles. Floating object can be reflected similar to projectiles. Barrier present in reflector level. Reflector can be destroyed using the floating object. Destruction of barrier allows play to progress. The boss that appears as a result of the player's destruction of the barrier will use a reflector at consistent intervals. The restrictions, reflector shield initial level cannot be completed without the player using the ability at least once. The feedback, floating object hovers slowly in a repeating fashion. Floating object is a pink color. Tweak enemy behavior. As a player, I want enemies to have predictable and understandable patterns of movement and attack. Enemies' fire patterns are tweaked to be more predictable. Enemy fire rate is reduced. Enemies now, under any circumstance, cannot fire if outside of the play space. So, if you saw the tutorial, you saw that all of them stayed in a pattern, and when they shot, they were inside the screen when doing that. So when they go below the screen and come back up from the top, they will not fire. Enemies that aim at the player have a unifying color palette that is consistent through all levels, and you'll see that all throughout. Introduce level progression to boss levels. As a player, I want to fight bosses after fighting their minions in a level to have a sense of progression in the level between minions and bosses. During a boss level, the player has to kill the minions before the boss shows up in the level. Amount of minions and type are predetermined in the inspector. 3 waves of enemies will appear before the boss appears. Restrictions: player will not see the boss until the minions are killed. Different types of music will play when the boss shows up. Next, finish the high score. As a player, I want the high score to have a high score to save my current score to a high score board in order to beat other scores. Player high score saves to the high score screen. Saves persist between play sessions. For scores to be added to the high score board, if the screen is at maximum capacity, score must be higher than the score on the board. Players will see their score on the screen when in the high score menu. Boss polish. As a player, I want bosses to feel unique and interesting in order to have a more enjoyable player experience. Bosses have their normal attack and a special attack that is distinctly different from the standard attack. Bosses do not fire unique projectiles. Bosses' projectiles are consistent and predictable. Bosses all animate and have unique visual aspects that differentiate them from other bosses. Visual acidity with items and power-ups. As a player, I want information displayed on my power-ups and currently equipped items to better act during play. When items are equipped, their icon as well as their duration and current time remaining are displayed on screen. Power-ups on HUD do not fall off the screen. Power-ups on HUD are limited to one at a time. Picking up a new power-up will remove the effects of the prior. This does not apply to weapons, as they already replace a previous weapon and are not related to power-ups. Power-ups that are currently active are displayed on the player's HUD. Abilities and their cooldowns are displayed on the player's HUD. Endurance mode, time trial adjustments. As a player, I want endurance mode and time trial to be challenging. Enemies on screen in endurance mode will be reduced. Weapons automatically change at certain time periods in the time trial stage. Enemies on the screen in endurance mode will be no more than a set limit at a time. Time trial will no longer have pickup weapons, but instead will change weapons based on time. A warning for weapon change imminent will flash on screen before the player's weapon is changed. Upon forced weapon change, the player is alerted with a sound and small text box on screen. Tutorial level, which we have already played. As a player, I want to be given a run through of basic mechanics to get started. A tutorial level is present. Tutorial level has simple enemies and a visual simple movement pattern. Text boxes will appear on screen and pause the game. When the player presses an input denoted, the text box disappears and play resumes. Text boxes that relate to an enemy or item or enemy on screen will denote the item enemy of which they speak. As for the tutorial level, I think that met all of the feature list items. For the restrictions, there is a small period in which input is not allowed when a tutorial box initially appears. Tutorial level can only be accessed by the level select screen. Close a text box with the indicated link will remove the indicator. Feedback. Text boxes play a sound when they appear. Closing a text box plays a sound. Indicated items or enemies have a visual indication of importance when a related text box appears. Okay, so we'll get this screen popped up more throughout the levels. So we're going to go to the next one, hit resume. Going to hit the pause, show you that the controls work, settings still work. There we go. And then, like I said, I'll hit the main menu button at the end just so that, I'll show you that it works. Resume. And there's a power up. And there is the power up timer. There we go. No. I see that there's a bug though, because after the first one, all it does now is 1 second and the slider does freeze. So that is a bug and I will have to check that out. Oh, okay. Alright. So I'm not sure what happened there, but pause again, controls, settings. Alright. I'm going to bring up the feature list again. With that one, we saw the power-ups. The power-ups, the functionality when items are equipped, their icon as well as their duration and current time remaining are displayed on screen. It did do that, but as you saw, there was a bug when I picked up the second power up and it only done 1 second instead of the 5 seconds that it was supposed to. The power-up did not fall off the HUD. Power-ups on the HUD are limited to 1 at a time, which it was. Feedback power-ups that are current, active, or displayed. The yellow box will be the picture of the power-up. I just done the yellow box for a placeholder. Alright, so let's go to the next one. Resume. This is boss stage 1. As you can see, you got the minions first. And when you have the minions, after you kill all of them, the boss should start. And this right here is the laser. And there you go. So we finished the minions off. Now we're fighting the boss. As you can see, when the boss fires, he fires 2 weapons. He fires the special attack, which was the rock at that time, and he fires a projectile just like all the other enemies do. Okay, so next we'll bring up the feature list again. I'm sorry, that was not the feature list. Feature list, sorry. So let me find it. Introduce level progression. As you saw, they had enemies before the boss, and then the boss came out after. During the boss level, the player has to kill the minions before the boss shows up. You saw that. Amount of minions and type of predetermined by the inspector. That was done. 3 waves of enemies will appear. Player will not see the boss until all minions are killed, and different types of music will play. I think all that hit the marks, so we'll move on to the next level. Hit control, it still works. Settings. Okay, and resume. And let's see. In this one, as you can see, we have different enemies and power-ups. The walls, as you can see, we're blocking some of the okay, so I'll bring up the feature list again, but that one was pretty much just a normal level, to show you that there's gonna be 3 levels before you get to the boss level. So that was just showing you the first one. Also, that one showed you the tweak enemy behavior. So the enemy's fire patterns are tweaked to be more predictable. Enemy fire rate is reduced. And I think they hit both of those marks. Okay. So control again. Settings again. And we're going to hit resume. So this is boss stage 2. And this one is Ghost and the spaceships. That's what I call them. So now I lost all my lives. So I'm going to hit retry current level. Okay. There's a power up for me. That showed the power up again, which is good. If my aim was better. again, there is a bug right there that didn't show the timer. Here's the second boss. There's the projectile shot, and he will shoot another, there it is, the red ball. And when he shoots the red ball, basically that makes me go faster actually. So let me pause it there. Controls, settings. I'll show you the feature list again, but like I said, on that one it was pretty self-explanatory. Wasn't nothing else that I needed to show other than that was one of the P pretty much one of the P levels. Starting to get harder. And then I think there was a bug that was in there, which was the power-up bug. But all the other bugs were fixed. Okay? So, let's go here. If I haven't done this already, sorry. Settings. There you go. There you go. Hit resume. Okay. Now we're doing the next one. And the cloud that's floating acts just like the other ones that show the... Okay, there's my timer. Right here. Shows me with another weapon. Oh, didn't hit him. I thought I was going to hit him. Okay. There's the next level. We'll hit pause again. Back. Settings. Settings there. Okay. Feature level or feature list. Sorry. That one really didn't have anything in it that we haven't already went over. Let's see. So introduce the boss level. 3 waves of enemies will appear before the boss appears. So that's what we're going to go to next. And boss polish. Pretty much all the bosses are getting polished with kind of reducing some of their difficulty and, you know, making sure they don't fire unique projectiles, you know, that's different than the regular enemies. Alright. Yeah, there, resume. And this right here is the laser. So, and there's another power up. So I'm glad that's working correctly. I just don't know why there was a bug on that one level. Okay, there's the next level. I'll hit pause. Controls. Settings. Resume. Now this right here is the M stage for the IPM, because this is the most difficult level. Okay, so here's the pause menu again, settings again. So we'll take you to the feature list. The feature list, pretty much everything has been said except for the endurance and trial modes. Like I said, went over the tutorial, went over the power-ups, went over the polish. High score we haven't went over yet. The level progression, we went through that. Went through tweaking the enemy behavior, and then introducing IPM, and then bugs, fixing the bugs that's still in the game. All right, so hit resume. Now this right here will be the hardest level in the game. Okay, so here's Master Bones. He is the most difficult enemy in the game. And the reflector shield, should have paid attention, I'm sorry. So every time he laughs is the only time you can hit him and do damage. So I still haven't mastered him yet, by the way. Even though I've made the game, or helped make the game, I still haven't learned how to defeat him. Like I said, you have to hit his eyes whenever he's laughing so that you can. So, there you go. I can retry current level. I'll show you that real quick. I was hoping to keep all three of them for him. That would have been a lot better. Oh, no, yeah. So it's so difficult to try to get a hit on him, which is part of the fun of the game, of course. So and as I get more hits on him, basically when his health goes down, he'll start getting faster and faster with shooting the lasers out. Well, yeah. So yeah, it's let's I'm gonna try to beat him so I can show you, but not sure if it'll happen or not. Whew, I was lucky. Nope. Anyway, what I'll do is I'll take you to the high score. Okay. And punch in MSF for my initials. Hit enter, and there's the high score. Now the issue with the high score, or the bug that we have, is it will not save this. So this is the only issue that we have for the high score, is once you start a new game, it will not save this data. Okay, so now I will go to levels for you. I'll show you the time trial. Time trial is basically kill as many as you can within the time limit. Oh, should have got that power up. And basically the enemies, they just keep coming. Once you kill a group of them, the next group comes. And all you want to do is try to rack up as many points as possible. It's the object of the time trial. So I got 18 seconds left. Yeah, if I could hit something. My goodness. Okay. So that'll take you to the main menu again. And then last is endurance mode. Endurance mode, you just go until you get killed. Now, I do see a bug already that it's showing 3 lives instead of just 1. It should only be 1 life, and you only get killed once. So this is something that we will have to fix. So, and I won't continue playing because this is not the way it's supposed to go. But I did want to show you, as I paused, that this pause goes to the main menu. Okay? And then, like I said, credits, options still work, controls still work. Alright. And that is it for Spacer Project. I appreciate your time. Thank you.